Okay, I'm gonna go into, just by default, I'm showing you how my process through technology, even though this is a manual sketching class, I'm gonna show you how I do things on my computer so you see. So there's if you have the Adobe Suite, there's a great little software. You guys might not use it so much, but I use it all the time, and it's called Adobe Bridge. You can see I'm highlighting it here, I'm opening it. Bridge is just part of the whole Adobe Suite, and it's a file management system, and it's just like your window, your Finder. If you're on Macintosh Finder, or if you're on PC, God, I haven't worked with PC for a while, but you know, your window, your file stuff, Finder for Apple. Anyway, so this Adobe Bridge, come on, open up. Where are you? Maybe behind here. Okay, maybe it's slow opening up. I haven't opened it this morning yet. Let's just see, maybe it's hiding somewhere. Is it hiding behind anything? All right, let's just say window, file, new window. Maybe that shows it. Maybe it's still, there we go. All right, here we go. Okay, all right. Oh, no, CCS, sorry, CCS, fall, winter, collection accessories, images, sketches, shoes and bags. Okay, let's just open up. So this is why I love this Adobe Bridge, because, you know, if you're on Finder for Mac, you can't see the thumbnail super clearly. Even if you go to that, you know, thumbnail type of setting, the thumbnails are super small. Maybe you guys know how to fix that, but I like Bridge because I can open up my folder and I can see very clearly what I'm looking at. If I want to zoom in on something, I can easily zoom in. So here I've got some very classic bags. We're just looking at classic stuff right now, but I want to show you, like, for example, this one right here. You can see these parallel lines, and let's just open this up a little bit bigger. So the parallel lines are important because notice how there are these, there's a lot of very, in fact, I'll get on there with my Cintiq. I'm gonna stand up for this. Okay, so,
Brooke, I have a question.
yes, certainly.
When it comes to like patterns and like, yeah, patterns like this, it's very complex.
Yep.
Like, would you just Photoshop it or would you draw it by hand? Even though that sounds kind of
For sketch, I would do it just a quick little thumbnail, a little rough thumbnail, you know, and just do a little section of it. You know, you don't want to fill up your whole thing with that. You just hint at it.
Do it in the corner and then like fade, kind of.
Totally.
So like, oh.
Maybe do it at the top left corner, the bottom right corner, and just fade that up because you don't want to repeat.
Okay.
That. But then,
yeah, of course.
But you know what? I would cheat, even though this is manual sketching. But I would go into Photoshop, and I would just duplicate it. You know, seriously,
yeah,
you're fine. You know, so you guys, as you know, this is a hand drawing class, but you can use Photoshop to do things like if you need that repetitive pattern. But anyway, so what I was going to say is, let me get my brush, take it down in size. Okay. All right, so anyway, notice all these parallel lines. We got the exterior, hold on, is everything cool here? Oh, opacity is only 11, so I'll crank that down. So you've got your strap, okay? And then you have underneath underneath that, okay, you have a shadow, or no, that's the backing. That's the backing of this strap. So you have the backing, you have the strap that's on top, you have the stitching, which is basically a line. So that's already 3 lines, and they're all within millimeters of each other. So that's why I'm saying practicing these lines of, you know, very tight lines is important. You see it in here, and this is another confident stroke jobby. There's the, where it's, the leather's cut, and then the, I don't know, thickness of the leather, I think that is, I'm not sure. Then we can go a little bit more abstract in a way. So for example, here's the exterior line of the corner piece, and then you'll see there's a reflection, and I would draw that in. There's a reflection in there. Let's move over here. Okay, in this case, this is a shadow line. It's a fade. It's a fade. So there's no obvious line, but there is a shadow line, and I like to draw that in with a line, basically. I mean, okay, and then one final example. So I showed you straight lines, keeping those straight and parallel, but then you get the strappy stuff, which is, you know, very curvy. And so, you know, there's already a few, that's the edge of the leather. Then you got the back, because it's a little 3-dimensional, and it cuts in here. So drawing curvy lines in this confident manner is also important. So now that's why my little exercise here, that's why this stuff is kind of important. In fact, I'd say it's not kind of, it's very important. It's probably the base. That's why I started with it. This is the base. So that's a little warm up. So, you know, when you come into class in the morning and you're waiting for me to come in, or you're a little early or whatever, just warm yourself up and get that muscle memory and just practice this. All the designers do this. So that's just a basic. Okay. Right. So let's start sketching together. And I'm gonna get some more photocopy paper. The stuff's so cheap that I can just throw it away. It's amazing. I don't like drawing on the back. By the way, don't draw on the back of your sketches. That's a no-no, because you see through it and it's gonna really piss you off. You've done some warm-ups, then you think, oh, I'm gonna save some paper, I'll draw on the other side. And you actually do a really nice sketch, and it's a little bit ruined because you got this stuff on the other side. So always use a fresh sheet of paper. It's a little wasteful, but if you're just doing warm-up stuff like this, yeah, use both sides, but don't do something nice on the other side. Okay, got some fresh paper. So another little, let's warm up together. If you all have your, you know, drawing utensils and paper, let's start drawing some basics, like basics of a bag. Using these principles that I'm talking about in terms of kind of confident strokes. So, you know, I start off in a traditional bag, or generally, I guess, I start off with a box, you know, with the proportion of the bag you want. You know, some bags are landscape. You know, I guess if you want to be innovative, you can do a tote, which is more portrait. And so here we go. Here's a couple of bag concepts. In fact, might be how I create a range of concepts. I'll start off with some basic shapes. So somebody wants a handbag. So there, I've already got a composition with just using basic rectangles as my base. It looks quite nice. In fact, maybe I do one more down here just to fill this void. Nope, I'm fine. I'm fine with these 3. That's good enough. So let's start putting in some details, like, all right, so some straps. Let's just do some straps. And there, this is some strap stuff. And so this is that parallel line stuff that I'm talking about. And I'm going to try to make them look about equal width because I want the left strap and the right strap to be equal width. You know, I made a few mistakes, fair enough, but I finally got there in the end. Okay, let's do some straps for this tote. Those will come up, and I don't know, you know, just put in the handle. So it's going to be a strap handle. So as I go over the handle, in this particular case, it gets thinner as it goes towards the top. I'll give you an example. Okay. You can see me, can't you? I mean, I know I'm sharing screen, but you can still see me, can't you? Clearly?
Yeah, we can
Or
see
am I
you.
too small? Am I too small?
No, you're fine.
Okay, so, well, this is a combo. It's a backpack. So I got these straps right here for my back. This is my wife's bag. So yes, but when you were doing a bag, okay, I'll show you this one. This is the handle. And notice how it's thick down here. It's thick down here, but then as it goes up, it kind of thins out. So you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to depict. A simple strap, thick here, and then as it goes towards the top, it flattens out. So I kind of think about that when I'm drawing this stuff. So that's why I drew it thick here and then thin as it goes up. And you know, just for the other side, just to give it some funk, I'm gonna just show this one kind of flopped over. And you know, I don't really care what it looks like because it's the other side and I'm not gonna focus on that. So, you know, I like to have it a little funky. It's very nice, asymmetry, even though this bag is symmetrical, it's nice to show asymmetry. And I'm doing that by the other handle flopping down. And this comes with the human instinct of all of our faces are a little bit asymmetrical. You know, that our faces do basically look symmetrical, but there's very little differences on our left and right side. And that's a subconscious thing. If something is perfectly symmetrical, it looks very unnatural. It looks very man-made. It looks like it's an engineering thing. So any asymmetry you can get in there one way or another is good. Anyway, I'm just going to continue on drawing straps on this. And maybe this one will have a different type of handle. Maybe this one will have like a molded handle. So I'm just gonna join this stuff up. So notice how I'm just doing these simple, quick strokes just to get this idea out quick. And then again, even if I'm drawing this, let's call this a molded handle, you know, I'm still keeping my lines parallel. Yeah. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, and let's just do one more, and this one's gonna be, I don't know, I guess a pretty standard strap. And then maybe this side's gonna be flopped over. Show a little bit on that side, so it looks flopped over. Okay, just continuing with these quick, simple strokes, some corner pieces, and I rotate my paper because it's more comfortable for my arm to sketch. I'll put in, instead, to make it a little different, I'll put in corner pieces, yet a boot. Bottom part is a boot. So this is a booted tote. And let's make this one a little bit funky. This is gonna be a corner, I don't know, big leather corner protective piece. And then I will put a boot in here as well. So this is how I start to create concepts with basic shapes and then start to fill it in. These are real basic bags. And this one I'm gonna put in the handle. Okay. So there we go. I've got 3 basic concepts with this kind of stroke. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna try another page, but this time using a Sharpie, and I'll show you the difference, for me at least. So when I'm doing a Sharpie and I'm doing the same type of bags, I'm going to go slow, a little bit slower, less of those confident big strokes, more slow strokes, but actually a little more accurate. I'm more accurate using this because I'm not just busting out these quick lines. So there's one, let's do a tote down here. And notice how straight off the bat, I'm getting a good composition. By just doing these simple shapes to start getting a range of concepts, I'm already creating a nice composition. Some people will like, okay, I'm just gonna put in one more bag here. This one's gonna be a little bit different. Everyone draws and thinks differently. Some people, and I discourage this because I know this is the fastest way, but some people will go like this. They'll start on a bag, they'll all get deep into it, you know, they'll be all, you know, whatever, I'm putting in all this stuff, putting in their straps, putting in their shadows, a little pocket for the phone, maybe a strap, shoulder strap, you know, put in all your stuff, get really deep in there, you know, maybe have your laptop sticking out. You've spent all that time on that one drawing, but now you have to do another one. Okay, well, that's fine, we can do another one, but how I like to do it is sometimes it's easier to just bust out 3 shapes on a page, and now you got 3 starts instantly. And I like to work around the page. So I'll start to flesh this out a little bit, get my lines a little more parallel and nicer. Happy mistake just happened right here. I got my lines wrong, but I'm gonna use that as a styling feature. So there's a happy mistake there, but I just happen to like that. So I can start fleshing this out a little bit. All right, I've got a concept here. Now I'll move on to this one. I like to work around because I kind of get bored. I have a low attention issue. And so I kind of get bored. All right, let's move on to this one. Okay, the most simplest stuff. Let's round out those corners. All right, let's put a boot in there. Let's put in a handle. It's a handle in there. And I'm good to go with that. And finally, this one, let's put in a handle in this one. Another boot situation. So I've got 3 concepts, and now I'm going to start fleshing them out a little bit more. Maybe I have some asymmetrical, it's fine, some asymmetrical stripe situation. Okay, I'm good to go with that one. This one, I kind of like that asymmetrical stripe thing. So that's going to be a theme for all of these. So it's a little shaky, and I think it's due to my pen. I'm definitely not hungover. And I'm going to do the asymmetrical thing on this one too. Now, when I'm doing a page of concepts, I try to have a similarity, something similar on each one, because it looks more like it's a collection and it looks more cohesive. You can have completely random ideas. You can do like a duffel bag. You can do a tote. You can do a stiff, you know, you can do a whole, but if you do that, they should, I think, just to make a page look nice, they should all have something at least related. In this case, I'm going to make it the stripes, but also I'm going to make it that they're all basically handbags, carry bags, which you use your hand. These are all basically handbags, and I'm also going to use that stripe motif. Start fleshing this out. I notice the lines are a little bit iffy. These are what I would consider thumbnails. Just quick ideas And then when I see something or my boss sees something that they like or I like, then I will scan this or photograph it, and we'll go there in a few minutes. So now notice how these parallel lines, this is going to be curved. I'm going to do a quick side view. This is how I think. This is how I use sketching to think. So I want to show that this is the bottom of the bag. So I've kind of lined them up. This is one concept right here. In fact, I'll even put a box around it. Oh, shoot. I'll put a box around it to, in the background, to remind me that this is one bag concept. And then this is one of those, like, what's it called? Shopping bag, brown paper bag type of folding situations. So that's what this is symbolic of. And in case it's not clear, I'll even do a little thumbnail up here to show what I'm talking about. And this is me thinking on paper. If it comes into my mind, I'm going to draw it because I want the client to know how I'm thinking. And I don't know if the client is going to be able to recognize what this is. So I figure, well, pretending that this client is dumb, then I better draw this stuff. Sometimes you do get clients that just don't have a clue about sketches. They're marketing people or engineering people, and you really need to draw that stuff. So there, this is one little concept that I'm starting to develop. And so what am I going to do? Oh, yeah. So since the bag folds around, I'm going to put in a line down here, very loose line, and that's going to be my shadow, because if it curves down here, and the light source is above, let's just say generically light source is above, then it's not going to cast light down here. You know what I mean? It's going to be shadow. And so since there's a shadow in that curve, I'm going to simply shade that in to suggest shadow. When I'm drawing shadows, I like to do a neat color blocking, and I'm color blocking the shadow. And notice how I'm doing it with these little parallel lines, because if you do these little parallel lines, conversely, as opposed to something like this, and it's up to you guys if you're better at this. So another way of shading in the shadow would be like this, back and forth. But I find it's a little too messy for me, and it's hard to stay in the lines. And since I'm a bit of a stiff drawer, a little bit, I like to do it just with these little simple parallel lines. All right, now I'm just working on this one, and I'm developing it. I'm nearly done with it. I'm going to give it a little of depth, and I've already given it some depth with this background. So there's already depth in this thumbnail. Next level of depth is the handle. Since there's a handle on two sides, I'm going to put in the handle on the other side, which is going to be there. I'm going to shade this in black, black, black. So there, I've got the other side of the handle. I'm going to put in a little bit of shadow back here. That's a little bit of shadow. And since I'm doing shadows, I might as well do it on this one as well. Because I want to pretend all of these bags are in the same kind of, they're all sitting together. I'm trying to make them look like they're all sitting together. So therefore, I'm going to make all my shadows the same. This too. So in this case, the light's not here. This is wrong. The light is actually over here. So therefore, that's why I have the shadows cast over here. And then hence this bag here. I'm going to put a shadow over here. And since I don't want to deal with how the shadow closes, I fade that off. Okay. I'll continue on. I've got this shape, and this is all leather. So since now I talk about it, I'm going to put little stitches in there. Put stitches all around, because this is a black leather kind of glove, I guess, boot, glove, I don't know, but it goes all the way around the bottom and the sides. So I guess it gives it structure. So that's leather. So I'm just going to duplicate that shape. And it doesn't all have to be proportionally correct because these are thumbnails, but I'm duplicating that shape on my 3D. And I'll put stitching in there too. Oh, and I need to put in my straps. So, and they don't have to exactly match, but I'm just trying to get this thumbnail concept going. So that's my asymmetrical stripes. All right, this little set's good. What I like to do also is I like to pop the bag out. Okay, so I have a background here. Okay, let's embellish that background. Keeping in a theme, which is my asymmetrical stripes, I'm going to put those asymmetrical stripes in my background to help be consistent. But in this case, it's not going to be asymmetrical. It's just going to be a bunch of stripes. So that kind of starts to help reinforce my concept. But to add extra depth, I'm going to bust out a really dark line around, only within the background. So I'm only going around the bag. And the background. And that helps the bag to pop off of the background. So I guess this is concept 1, and I'm going to just put a 1 up here as a reminder. So that little cluster is 1 concept. Next, I'm going to do pretty much the same on this one. So how do I want the bottom of this to look? I'm going to draw a baseline in this case. I'm going to draw a side view of this bag. Kind of line it up a little bit. Those confident long strokes. So I can do quick strokes with the Sharpie, but it's only for this sketching stuff, quick sketching stuff. Now, how's this working? I don't know. What's the shape going to be? How this bag handle integrates with the side. So I'm going to do an organic-y type of dip like that. That's how this bag is going to be shaped on the top. I've got a boot here. So let me just draw that line because I know it lines up here. And let's just make it all rounded corners. So I put in some rounded corners. And since this is thumbnail, I have to exaggerate stuff. So for example, got this boot thing right here, but a boot sits on top of the, let's call it canvas. Let's say this is canvas, leather, sits on top of the canvas. So I give it a step. I'm gonna make it get wider as it goes up, actually. So, you know, this is how I think as I'm designing this. I'm like, oh, I made a mistake, but that's actually cool. It gets wider as it goes up, but there's a step here of leather. And so I'm going to really pop that off to show that it is a layer on top. And I've got these lines here. This might be finishing piece, like, I forgot what it's called. Oh shoot, what is that called? Because I haven't done bags for like a couple years. So I put in stitching in here. It's like that. There's a covering of leather shaped like a U. So here you have some material coming in and it's stitched together here. And then you have a piece of leather or something that comes up. And it's stitched in here. That's what this is. I can draw it 3D as well. And then it's stitched in here. Let's say 3 stitch lines. So that's what, since I had to draw that demo, I'm pretending that I'm kind of in my frame of mind, me explaining it to you and having to draw it for you is the same as any client. They'd be like, what the hell is that? I'd be like, well, it's that. It's this type of construction. Anyway, so put in the stitching on here and might as well do the whole darn thing covered in this this covering, this trim piece, this finishing off piece. All right, there's that. Put in the other side of the handle because you can see through that handle. I'm gonna make that black because it's really the inside of the bag. And oh, some stitching around here, the boot. So is the video okay for you, or is it sharp enough? Is it okay for you guys?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it's good.
That's good.
Good, good, good. Now what? So when I see empty spaces in a sketch, and this is, I know this is just a thumbnail, but when I see empty spaces like this, or like this, to me it's warning signs. It's like, if I see that, it's like, oh, the designer didn't really think too deep about it. Or to me, it bothers me on a personal level because I don't like that. I want to show how things work. So I'm going to show there's going to be a seam in the middle. Not a seam, a fold. So basically, this is how I'm thinking it's going to look like. I think it's going to be like, it's going to be like this. It's going to be actually like the grocery bag, the brown paper bag. It's going to be that type of construction. I'll just put in my handles. That's the type of construction it's going to be. So I just leave that. I'm good enough with that. Oh, you know what? I might shade in the middle. I like to shade in certain areas. It's nice to pop things off the page. And even though that's just a crappy sketch, I will do a little shading in there. And once again, I'm going to use my technique of little short strokes. These little short strokes is another example of the warm-up that I was talking about earlier about getting lines to be parallel and tight. So anyway, that's how the top of the bag would look like basically. And that's my seam. So any questions? Is everyone good?
Perspective like that. Another.
Oh,
like,
sorry, Cameron. I didn't hear you.
Could you do that again, like another perspective one?
A perspective view?
Yeah, like do another one, like you just did.
Not yet, not yet, man. You're jumping the gun. We're on thumbnails, and this is the extent of my perspective view. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go crazy.
I meant like do it again because I was looking away.
I'm gonna. Either your mic is low. I'm gonna crank up my amp. One sec. Let me crank up my, because I can't hear you very clearly. Now, one more time, Cameron. I'm sorry, man. I didn't hear you correctly.
Redraw that because I was looking away.
Can you close the window, please? Yes. Dude, I don't know. Is it me or is it my stuff? Because I can't hear you.
No, it's him.
Okay. Okay.
He's very muffled.
Yeah, Cameron, I can't hear you clearly, buddy. I'm sorry. Something about perspective.
I just asked to redraw it, but never mind.
Redraw it. Redraw that?
Yeah.
No, man. I mean, yes, no. I'm gonna hit this stuff 1,000 times, so I don't need to redraw that particularly. So anyway, let's just and I'm sorry about that, but you're gonna see this 1,000 times, so I'll do it again here. So I want my page, and this is me, OCD or whatever you call it. I want it to have consistency. So my light source for this little set of thumbnails was up here. I'm gonna use that same light source. Light's gonna come down here, and so I'm gonna use that same light source for this sketch and this sketch, as long as I can remember. So this is the bag, and if it's this grocery bag type thing, I'm going to, and since it folds in, this is the shadow side. And let's say, yes, it's got that shape down here. Maybe it has that same thing. And so this is the side that's folded in. So you guys know what I'm talking about, don't you? As far as how the shading works and stuff? Okay, good. So I know Jade and Lauren, we've had this before. So Anyway. There. What else? Oh, I'm going to do a little shadow back here, keeping everything consistent. Fill that in. So those are my little shadows. All right, I'm good. And finally, oh, and do you know what? I'm going to put a little box around this range of concepts. Oh, I forgot to shade in this part because through the handle, you would see the back. So anyway, just little things. So that's what happens when I go around, I see stuff and I make them better. All right, so this is my background. I want it to go all the way through. I want it to definitely intersect here. So there's my background. I'm going to go heavy around inside the background. I'm going to go heavy around the actual concept. And okay, there's my background, and I'm going to add that stripy texture in there, just quick and loose. But going around my drawings. There, I'm good. All right, so this is one. I'll put it inside my box. Since it's the thumbnails, I normally don't care, but I might as well get you used to using this stuff, the whiteout. Shake the crap out of it. Okay, now, and I wouldn't do this normally. I just cut this out in Photoshop, but I just want to show you how I use this quite a lot, this whiteout, just to fix mistakes. So there's my concept 1, concept 2, and this one here. Let's say this one is a completely different concept. This is kind of like an oval type of bag situation. And it's got a boot that goes all the way around, so I'm going to copy that. It's got this triangle in here. So how I'm going to do this is I could just freehand this triangle, or I could construct it. I think normally I would just freehand it in, but for you guys, I'm going to show you how I do it, because I've done this stuff so many times. I would normally do it, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to draw a center line down here. It's my center line, and the center line would also be in the other side. Maybe this is actually part of my design. Now that I drew that, it looks kind of cool. These happy accidents, I love them. So I got my center line because my handle here is kind of in the center of my front view bag. So I'm going to use that center line to help me figure out to make this central. And I put in the center line, so therefore I put an equal length on this side of the line and this side of the line, and then therefore that gives me the point, which kind of makes it look central. And I'm going to round off these corners, and the same with this side over here, because you can see the other side. I wonder if you can see that. No, okay. So that's going to be this bag. It's going to be a roundy type of bag. And you know what? I'm going to actually add a little bit of thickness. I'm going over this. I'm not going over it. I'm going close to it. I'm giving that a little extra thickness, and the same here. Since this boot is on top, I'm giving it a little extra just to help show, and I'm going to draw a contour line. This is producty and trans design. I don't know if you do this in fashion, but I do in fashion. I do when I'm doing my bags, but I don't know if you have to. But I put in this, it's called contour line, and what it does is it helps show levels, not levels, but layers of construction. And we'll get into that a lot more, so I'm not going to labor it too much right now. All right, so I've got the basic construction of my bag. Since this is the inside of the bag, I'm going to just fill that in with my shading, my parallel lines. So it gives it some depth. And also inside, you're going to see the thickness of this. Let's say this is all leather. You're going to see a little thickness of that leather right in that handle and in here. And don't forget to fill in here also, because you can see through that handle into the dark void of inside the bag. All right, so since my light source is up here, all of this stuff is going to be shaded. So I'm just going to shade that in now. That's suggestive of shadow, because the light is over there. And then I'm going to put a shadow, just a simple line. A couple of lines back here, and I'm going to shade that in as well, because that's how the shadow would more or less work. It's not perfect, but it would more or less work like that with the light source coming this way. Same here. I'm going to just do a simple shape in there, just to suggest a shadow. And there's this little shadow. I'm going to put in the other side of the handle and shade that in with my parallel lines. Okay. And a little kind of an advanced shading technique. I am going to, since it's round, I'm going to turn this thing around so I can have a good stroke. And I'm going to start dark here. And this is a different type of shading technique. And I'm going to just fade that around. And this is hardcore parallel line activity that I'm trying to depict to you how important that warm-up exercise really is. So now I've got a little three-dimensionality, and I'll put a little bit over here, not much. So kind of, I got a little bit of three-dimensionality from it. And this is good enough. I don't need to do an end view because it's clear with this view. But what I will add onto this one is my graphic, which is those stripes. Just random. And I'm good enough. I'm good to go. So I'm going to put a background on this to match them all up. Now, placement of background. I know I'm diving in kind of deep with all of this, but it's going to be repetitive, and we're going to be doing this for the next 15 weeks. So I'm going to go in deep. Backgrounds. When you put in a background, be smart how you put it in, because a background is your aid. It's not just there to give depth, but it's there to help explain things. Now, here's an example. I'm going to put my background where I'm going to align it so it works through the hole in the bag. So I'm going to use that background to help illustrate that there's a hole in the bag. And that's how I'm going to maximize the use of my background. So I'm going to go dark around the whole thing. I have different ways of doing this, but in this case, I'm going to do it like this. So there's my background, but I've shown it going through the holes of the bag, and that's a smart way. And notice how I did it again here with this background. I showed it going through the hole of the bag. The same with this one. I showed that going through the hole of the bag. Oh, I should have put in more lines. Background. Same with this one. Okay, anyway. And I'll put in the background, which is these random stripes. And I'll put one stripe in here so I can show it going through the bag hole. And I'll do one over here as well to show it going through the hole, the handle of the bag. So it's 1, 2, and this is the third concept. So that's my page of thumbnails. First page, but that's using a Sharpie. Okay. So how are you guys getting on with this? Everyone's good? Jade, you seem to be okay. Yep. Lauren, you're good? Yeah.
Good.
All right, cool. Are you guys sketching with me or?
Yeah, we're sketching with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I thought that was the point. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's good because, you know, you can use some of this. We have a 3-hour class and you can use this as part of your homework as well, if you want. I mean, or you can, whatever. If you're not happy with your drawings, well, I don't know. But all I'm saying is you can use this as part of your homework if you want. So this is the Sharpie technique. And by the way, what I plan on doing is, now that we've moved all on digital and online and I'm recording these videos and I'm uploading the videos, what I'm going to also do is I'm going to scan the drawings and I'm going to put them onto the announcement. So after class in the evening, I upload the videos and I make an announcement and share the link with you. And then I will scan these and put these in the announcement. So you can get a whole kind of clear picture. By the way, I cannot upload our videos super quick. Honestly, this is a 3-hour class and the video, it's like 2 gigs, maybe. It's huge. It's really huge. It takes ages to download this thing. And then it takes ages to upload it onto YouTube. And it's a good few hour session. And I have another class as well. I have a product design class after. So it takes me a little bit of time to download it and upload it onto YouTube. So I will try to do it in the evening, have it done by the evening. But sometimes it's not possible. So, but I will most definitely have it for you by the next day. All right, I'm ready to roll. Are you guys ready to roll on to, because I'm gonna, pardon the pun, I'm gonna roll with the roller ball. It's also called a roller ball, ballpoint pen. All right, so there's Sharpie style. In fact, I'm gonna put it down here. Oh, by the way, it's important to have good handwriting, whether just a distinctive, easy to read handwriting and not childish. Sharpie style. And you know what? I'm actually going to also upload, oh. Well, I've lost all my little sketches. Oh no, here they are. With a pencil, I'm gonna write in here, practice line. Practice line quality. Here's my color. Here's my color. All right. Even though this is really, I'm just going to label this because I'll scan this stuff. I don't really want to upload this stuff onto my, which is going to be a very pretty announcements page. You know, you go to announcements, Blackboard, you see all the stuff. I want really like hot stuff on there. This is going to be the beginning, and this is not hot for me, but it's an educational thing. Chicken scratch. Do not do. Okay, chicken scratch, ballpoint pen. That's good. Ballpoint pen, pencil, and what's this? I can't even tell what this is. I guess it's Sharpie as well. I don't even need to worry about it. Whatever. We're not going to go here. Basic perspective. All right. Anyway, let's move on to ballpoint pen. And I'll show you the difference in style as far as how I do it. You know, this might be a nice sketch. I can tell already. I'm already warmed up, so I can tell this is going to be a good sketch. So I'm going to go in my sketchbook. Go in there. All right. Find a piece of paper. Oh, this is why this is why I don't like using Sharpie unless I put paper in between my pages, because it bleeds through and I've ruined a piece of paper. But I should have thought about it. I was in a meeting and I didn't have time to do this stuff, so whatever. I'm still going to use this. Those little dots, those little mistakes, they could become a happy accident. All right, landscape. This is going to be fun. All right, I wish I could pop out some tunes. All right, we're going to do bags again. I'm just going to double check my syllabus to make sure that I'm not missing anything. The time is 9:47. What time does this class end? This class ends at 11. All right, good. We still got time. And so anyway, Thursday, instructor introduction, demonstration, basic sketching techniques and presenting them in PDF format. Okay. Students, sketch along instructor. All right, so we're good. Okay. All right, bags. I'm going to turn on some tunes. I'll put them on really quiet. If they annoy you, please let me know. But when I get in the flow, I get in the flow. Always start light. Now that's a contrast with Sharpie. Because Sharpie, you're stuck with a pretty hard line, I guess, in a way. So I've got 3 bag concepts here. I'm going to do something diagonal. I don't know what it is yet. It kind of looks like it's kind of like a flag. The divers have a red and white flag. So accidentally came up with that, and I'm going to stick with it. So I'm going to have 3 of this diver's bag. I don't know. I'll call it a diver's bag. And you know what? I'm going to check out the diver flag. Just check this out. Diver flag. Just, you know, so when I'm sketching, I also look at online stuff just to confirm, yeah, that's a diver flag. Okay. So this is a diver flag. That's going to be a cool graphic. Okay, so what's this going to be? This is going to be a kind of a record bag or a messenger bag. I think that would be very cool. So messenger bag. So one of the ways the messenger bag is done, there's a flap on it. So that's what this is going to be. This is a flap, kind of maybe like a lawyer's bag or a doctor's bag. They have this flap. There's going to be a little closure in here somewhere. And I'm going super light on this because I'm going to change things at some point. Since this is a messenger bag, I want it to be tough in the city. So in case I drop it or drag it, I'm going to put a boot on there. That's what that is. This one's going to be a little bit different. This one's going to be, actually, you know what? This is also going to be the same style. It's going to be a messenger bag with a flap. But this one, the flap is going to follow the line of the graphic. So it's going to go here. It's going to be a big diagonal flap. So I have to increase the height of this. So that's the joy of sketching, is you can adjust stuff as you think about it. So this, oh, damn it. I made a mistake. But hey, it's okay. It's okay. So this is the flap. And this up here is a mistake, but I guess it can be either a highlight or it can be another flap. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to leave it for now. But I know down here is going to be a shadow, so I'm going to just draw that line where the shadow is going to be, or it could be a boot. I really don't know yet. And this one is going to be, let me see, what can I do on here? Oh, maybe I just leave it open. I don't like it when open bags like totes. I don't like that because if it rains, it's a messenger bag. You got to keep the rain coming off. So I got to have a flap on there somehow. I I guess I'm going to do a straight one. No, I'm going to do a low down one. So I've got a medium flap here. This one I'm going to do a flap that goes all the way down. So just very light. And the curved corners help remind me that that's where the flap is. Okay, so I've got three concepts. So messenger bags normally have a strap, shoulder strap. So this is how I like to do the shoulder strap. I like to kind of just do a little fakey, type of suggestion of where the D-rings and the attachment part is. And instead of doing a nice clean line for the straps are actually very floppy. So I'll do something like that. I'm good with that. This one also, I'm going to put in my little D-rings, attachments, and another strap. And it'd be nice if I could do something different on this one. Instead of the end piece attachments, I'm going to do something like, well, to be honest, I can't really think of any other ideas. So I'll stick with the classic strap on the sides. I don't mind that I went through these, by the way, with this strap, because I'll fix it later. All right, now this pen is bleeding, and I say that these don't bleed, but this is a 10-year-old pen, so let me see if I can get another one. So if you have bleeding on the end of your ballpoint pen, how I deal with it is I just get down to the cuff of my jeans. Down here, you can't see, I'm on the cuff of my jeans. Nobody ever notices your cuff. And I just wipe off the ink on the bottom. Nobody will see that. All right. Next, I need to start describing this. I think I'm just going to stick with pure front views on this. All right, just front views, unless we'll see as I go along. Now this one's going to have little feet. Down here, two little lumps, little like brass or metal lumps. Feet is what I call them. And a floor. It needs to sit on the floor. So I'm going to do a floor, and I'm also going to use the floor as a background. All right, now I'll show you what I mean by that. Once again, I'm going to use my light source up here. All the light is coming this way. So my floor, I'm purposely making it go extending out to the right because it's symbolic of a shadow. Now let's do some feet on this one. This one's going to be a bunch of little knobs or little bumps. So as grip. So that's my, and then so I'm going to draw a floor in here. And that's going to go all the way across. And this is all going to start suggesting that the light is coming from this way. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm drawing the floor, the base which the bag is standing on, and the shadow with one kind of stroke, one line. Down here, I'm going to do something funky. I'm going to make this one like high tech. I'm going to make this like some molded crazy. In this case, I do have to go slow because I can't sketch this fast. This is going to be, so in a sole of a shoe, they've got this stuff called EVA, mainly in sports shoes, but also you get them in fashion as well. And EVA, do you guys know what EVA is? EVA, the material?
No, I don't know what that is.
An example. All right, so EVA, classic Nike Presto. Well, it's not classic. This is newer ones, but EVA is this stuff here. And so this is also in fashion, but we'll do fashion shortly. But EVA is this very soft foam that's in between the outsole, and the outsole being the rubber or the leather bottom, midsole being the cushion stuff, and insole, which is the inside thing, whatever. But anyway, this material here is very, very useful for. In fact, I don't know why people are not implementing shoe technology into bags. I mean, the bottom of a bag, they're not so padded on the bottom of, so this messenger bag, record bag, whatever you want to call it, it's more likely going to hold a laptop or an iPad or whatever. And so, you know, you drop that thing, or, you know, you put it on the ground. You want some padding underneath there to protect that $3,000 computer. So this is my techie one, and these are going to be my, I guess, more cheaper ones. But anyway, if I could use that EVA, that white foamy padding, and create a mold down here that can absorb the impact of me dropping a bag, I'm cool. And it adds some new funk. But anyway, so I'm going to do my shadow, stroke, floor, bring that all the way across. I don't care if I make some mistakes. In fact, I want it to look good on the page, and that's why I made it parallel to the page. The shadow, stroke, floor, as opposed to using my sketch as the base. Whatever. All right, so now let's start moving on. The light's coming from here. The next step for me is to start adding shadows. So this is a flap right here. So I'm gonna make this, and so since there's a flap, this is gonna be darker because it's gonna cast a little shadow. So I'm gonna bring that all the way across like that, and I'll fill that in a second. Now, in this case, my flap is this long thing here, so it's gonna cast a shadow. So I need to pop that thing off. So that's my shadow there. I'll fill that in a second. And when I say I fill it in a second, is because you kind of get into this muscle memory thing. Once you start doing these little strokes to shade, once you're in the flow, might as well just do it all at one time. It's kind of like, I think of it as like a factory worker. The factory worker, for the whole day, he puts doors on, or he puts he or she, you know, does one repetitive thing all day so they can be fast at it. And so I kind of look at it like that. I look at it like, all right, the factory worker is putting on tassels and all day. And so they get quick at it. So I'm kind of following that same philosophy. So anyway, I've got my flaps, I've got my shadows, and now I'm just going to just muscle memory out. It takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. I'm just going to fill in all this nice and neat. And you could be more efficient if, and I guess some of you are thinking, well, why don't you just fill it in this way? Well, yeah, that's going to be faster, but it's going to look crappier in the end, because I know if I'm doing this style of shading for all of them, it's going to look good. And consistent. In my opinion, the way you draw is symbolic of your attitude and your commitment and commitment. You know, so let's say you're building out a house, you're building a house and you have enough money to build it correctly. Well, even if you build it yourself, you know, if you have money, you're going to get the top construction guys, construction team to build that house. And they're the top because they put care into their work. They've got a good reputation. The quality looks good. The house looks good, can withstand a hurricane. And so that's why you use that team. Same with drawing. Drawing's just like building a house, building out your wooden window frames. You want that thing to look good, your beams throughout the ceiling. And actually, you know what? I'm going to put this down here so you can see me even a little bit better. There, it's even double damage. Okay, so anyway, it's just a state of mind. If you put care and love into your drawings, employers, clients will see that. And they're going to be like, that person really cares. And that person deserves more money, or they deserve a job. It just shows, you know, that you care. All right, so I got my shadows in with my flaps. So starting to get some depth. Now, now I need to start explaining things because, for example, how's the side of this thing gonna look like? And I'm gonna do, I guess I have a nice little space here to do a rectangle to show the shape, so I guess I do that. But I really want to do a 3D drawing. But I'm just going to show this the end view here. And this is going to be more kind of squarey, boxy. So I'm going to put round corners around there and around the bottom. So it's one of those type of kind of very structured boxes. And don't forget the flap. The flap kind of comes out. And I'm going to line up the flap on the side view, well, the front view and the side view. So my flap stops here. The flap stops here. Okay. Side view, but I really wanted to do a 3D, but maybe I do a 3D down here. Anyway, so this one's going to have a different type of profile, end profile, just to have something different. I'm sorry, you can't see that. I'm off the page, but I'll get back onto it in a sec. I just got to draw this. I mean, I know you can't see what I'm drawing, but there we go. All right, there's a shape, and this one's going to be. You know, this looks like it's got 2 flaps, and I'm going to keep the 2 flaps because I think it's an innovation. It's a happy accident. So I'm going to keep that. So I'm going to shade that in too. What I'm doing here now is I'm darkening the lines that hit the shadow. Some lines need to be darkened, and that's why we start off light, and then we start building up the darkness as you build up the drawing. So I've got 2 flaps, and this is going to be stuck on piece. I'm going to just draw stitches in there because it's going to be red leather stitch onto white leather or whites, whatever it is. There, and I'm going to put stitches all along the whole edge of the seam of this flap because that's going to be stitched on. And now I think about it and I see my mistakes right here. I've got these little light lines right here. That looks like a great place for a piece of Velcro. So I'm going to put in stitch lines in there, and it's going to look nice with all of these parallel lines. That's going to be Velcro underneath. So you can kind of suggest what's going on. Even though you don't see Velcro, you can still suggest it through a sketch. So if I'm talking Velcro, I can either Velcro this thing down, or I can magnetize it, have magnetic closures, or I can have straps. I'm going to leave it. I like the cleanliness of this. I could put some straps, some buckle straps, but it's going to ruin my nice aesthetic of this diagonal thing. So I don't know what to do yet. So I'll leave it. Now that's something. If you don't know what to do, just leave it, because some people force. They like, you know, they force something, and just let the laws of, I don't know, just don't force things. Just, I can't figure out how the hell that thing's going to close. I'm going to leave it ambiguous. Maybe somebody has a better idea. I take it into my boss and I say, yeah, boss, here's my concept. He says, how does it close? I say, honestly, I don't know yet. It's just a first sketch. He says, you know what would be great if you put a hidden zipper in there? I'm like, yeah, dope, decent. All right, man, great idea. We'll put a hidden zipper in. So leave that. This sucker here is going to be closed with a Velcro strap at the bottom. I just do a very faint line to show how it would sit. Put in my stitching for the Velcro. I'm going to stitch it all the way around. So as I sketch, I do think about how things are made. So the Velcro is stitched down, but I don't think I'm going to put any stitching around these edges. I want to keep it super clean. I don't know how it's going to be. Maybe stitch and turn. I don't know. Now down here is my money shot down here. This is my EVA, techie, expensive stuff. And it's going to have, if I'm molding this, I might as well maximize on that mold and get some grips out of it too. Maybe I put a strip of leather underneath. I don't know. Okay, so that's my EVA thing. And to symbolize EVA, I guess I'm going to put in random stripes. So, okay, what this could be, and what this could be, I'm thinking about production right now. This could be an extruded, this could be, I don't know if you know what extrusions are, but it could be this EVA and it's extruded out as a long piece. Okay, I'm gonna do a 3D sketch. Because me talking to you about it, my boss might not realize what the hell I'm talking about, so I'll draw it. This is what, even though I'm talking to you, what I'm saying to you is what's in my mind, and I do this naturally anyway. So when I'm drawing this stuff, I'm thinking, when I'm talking to you, I'm just basically talking what my thoughts are. And so this is exactly how I do a client job. I got to draw this, and I'm not drawing this for you, I'm drawing this for me, because I want to show my client how this is going to work in case it's not clear for him or her. Okay, this is just, I don't care about perspective so much. I'm just showing that this is a long extrusion. It could even be rolled up, and then you just cut out, cut this one off. Actually, I am thinking about perspective. You cut it again. And I don't really care. But basically what I'm trying to say is extruded. Extrude EVA. It's like a big sheet and you just cut the strips. So that's what that is. Extruded EVA and cut. Just do a little circle around my annotation. And then I'm going to draw an arrow to make it clear, because you really want to make your drawing, your sketches clear. When you send off drawings, you might be sending it to China, you could be sending it to France, and you send it off 5 o'clock in the evening, and over in France it's what, 6 hours later, it's like 11 at night. So you're not going to call them. You might call them, but it's 11 at night for you, so you might be sleeping. So your client or your boss in France has got to read the sketches without you being able to present, without you talking. So they need to be able to see the drawing and basically understand what you're talking about. And so that's why I'm trying to, as I'm thinking about it, I'm writing down my thoughts onto the paper so that when I do send it to France, the person's going to be able to look at this and realize how I'm thinking without me presenting. So anyway, that's my concept with that. Now, let's start getting into some basic shading. So there's a thing called a core. Now, I'll illustrate how it works, but this little shading, what I'm doing here, is showing a curvature. So let's just put in the rest of this bag. And so I don't know how it's closing yet, but basically I'm going to add a second line to show that it's thick leather inside the side view. And then it's going to be closed somehow. I don't know how. Then I've got my loop where it's attached. So I'm going to start fleshing that out. Goes in here and it cuts in there. Goes out here and it cuts in there. Put in a little symbolic circle on each of those, because that's a cross section. If you cut one of those D-links together, it's going to look like that. Okay, so since I have that, I'm going to line it up and I'm going to put in where it's this D ring is attached. It's just a simple, you know, strap of some sort. I don't even know, leather, whatever. This is the D ring. And that's where the strap is attached. So I'm just going to do a simple, just something simple like that to just show what I'm trying to express. I'm trying to show that it's curved up here and adding depth. Every time I add something, I can add depth to it because the strap is the most exterior piece. So that's what that is. But this core, this, how I'm shading this is symbolic of that corner. And I'll break it down for you in a sec. Let me just do this one first because I'm in the muscle memory mode. Suggestive of a curve. So now I'm gonna have to put in a curve here on the side view, end view. It's cool. And so I'm gonna show flap. This is a 2 flap job. And I don't know, that's 1 flap. And then I've got another flap. Well, let's just put that leather that goes all the way around. Sorry. And then the top of the bag. And then this other flap, it ends here. This is gonna be hard to draw, so I'm not gonna really draw it too much. I'm gonna just leave it at that, good as. I've got my, not carabiners, but my D-rings. And then how it's attached, right in there. And so in this case, the attachments here, I'll line that up. This is gonna be like a piece of nylon going all the way to the bottom. And therefore, it's gonna be stitched. And then it's gonna be stitched here. No stitches on the top because this is where the nylon, let's say seatbelt material, folds around and they don't stitch the top. But now I put in my D-ring. My D-ring, and then my strap. It's gonna be that seatbelt material. So that's the end of that bag, the end. But anyway, this core, I call it a core. Now, and I'll explain it in a sec. I'm gonna put a core in this one too. And I'm lazy, I'm not even gonna do a side view of this bag. But this core thing, I'm gonna break it down for you. Now what a core is this. In this particular case, let's start off with a box. This is a, okay, this is basically a bag shape. And so the corners are gonna be rounded. Let's just round the bottom ones too. Okay, I have to cut some off. So I'm just gonna make this really short because for demonstration purposes. There, and then here it bends into here as well. And here also. So what we've got here, the core, I'm trying to render through a pen this curvature. And how it works is this. Darkest in the middle. And as it curves around, it gets lighter. Dark in the middle, and as it curves around, it gets lighter. So you kind of see that it kind of, and I'm gonna put a contour curve in here, very light. This is not meant to be visible in real life, but it's meant to just show the contour. Contour lines are real important to help show how things work. So that is a core. And so if I were to show directly a front view of that, oh, and a little bit of core at the bottom, just a wee bit. So if I were to show a flat front view, it would be like this. Done. Done. And that's supposed to suggest this type of shading. That's supposed to not depict this type of shading, but it's supposed to depict this type of curvature and corner. And that's core. And that's why I was doing it on my, this. Those are cores. All right, carry on with my bag. All right, so this stripe, it's going to be all red above it. Well, inside the stripe is going to be white, and so I'm going to make this a big piece of leather stitched on top of white. So I'm going to draw the stitches of this red stuff. It's stitched on top. Where you draw your stitches depicts what's on top of another thing. So that's these red bits are stitched on top of this white bit. And so in this white bit, I think I'm going to put some texture in it. So I'm going to just add some lines. God knows what this is. Could be plastic, could be leather that is kind of pressed and molded, or could be reflective material. I don't know. So that's a texture inside. Now this, I've already showed that the red pieces are on the outside, and this one's going to have some sort of texture in the middle here too. I don't know what it is yet, but this is only first sketches. Okay. And you know what, just to, since I'm not using markers right now, I'm going to say red as a reminder. Red and white. When I'm doing something important, I put a circle around it because it's important, for me at least. All right. So in this case, this stripe could be painted. So I'm not going to mess with it. It could be printed on, maybe this is vinyl. Maybe this whole bag is vinyl. This is printed. So I'm not going to add any shadows or anything like that. Oh, because it's all printed. But in this case, since this layer of leather is on top of this white stuff, I want to make this line darker. Not this one, but only this one. Because that leather is, there's going to be a slight, the leather is what, 1/16, 1/8 of an inch thick, let's say, and it's going to cast a little shadow. And that's why I'm making these lines where it's casting a shadow a little bit darker because of the shadow. Okay, you know what, just to reiterate the point, this one down here, it's going to be stitched on. It's going to be the white. In this case, it's going to be the white piece of leather, sorry, strapped onto the red. And in this case, I'm going to have to put the stitches on this side because it's on top of the red stuff. Okay, and then down here, I'm not going to forget that. So, and it kind of looks like it. This now looks like it's kind of stuck on top of the red stuff. Okay, well, those are 3 thumbnails. I could do a little 3D, but when I'm on the edge of my sketchbook, and the sketchbook is about 1 inch thick, my hand rubs here, and it's kind of uncomfortable for me. So I don't really want to draw in there, but you know what, I will for you guys, and I'm just going to have to do it like this. I'll just do a quick 3D. Okay, how's this one built? This is going to be built like this. And then the flap goes all the way down to near the bottom. And I am conscious of the perspective, and that's why it has a little perspective in it. Now I'm add thickness around the edges because it's going to be some sort of unfinished leather, untrimmed, unfinished. It's going to be something like, oh, here is the other side. It's going to be raw. I'm not going to put any finishing touches on it. Okay, and then if I have that, I need a closure. I'll make a little shape in here like that. I seem to be in that type of mode. Since that's deep inside of the bag, I'm going to color that in with my nice, neat parallel lines. And to that point about the core, which I was showing you here, I'm going to put a core in this. It's a nice, gentle core. It's not a hard core, it's a gentle core. And I'm going to go super light on this. I'm going to fade it out. Same here. Fade it out a little bit. So it kind of gives the impression. And then I have this white strap, not strap, but stripe going on. So I'm going to draw that. I'm just going to just rough that in. And it's going to wrap around a little bit there. I'm going to add thickness to it. So I'm going super light. There, and I'm going to stitch it on top. It's stitched on top. So stitches. And stitches down here. Stitches all around the flap. Okay, there's that. You know what, I'm gonna take off this since I've made the construction like this brown paper bag. I'm rethinking those D-rings, and this instead is gonna have a hole in here and here, and the strap is gonna be inside there. And so therefore the strap is gonna come out here. The strap over here is gonna come out here. Add thickness to the strap. And therefore, in my thumbnail, I'm going to have to put in a little hole here, and a little hole here, and show how the strap comes out. So, and then since I show the strap in that little window there, I'm going to really make that stuff black behind the strap, because that's super, super deep inside the cave. There we go. And so you kind of get an impression of how I might as well put a shadow back there to help add the 3D element. Okay. My sunlight is here. So what other shading can I do with this 3D bag? I'll just do some simple quick lines here because I don't want to have to figure out all the crazy shadows. And I'm going to shade that in. I'm just going to shade this in with perpendicular up and down lines because my hand is on the edge of the sketchbook. It's awkward. I need to draw this. There we go. This is one concept. So what I'm doing right here is I'm drawing a background. It's going to go all the way through. Big, dark, nasty background. Oh, shit. Okay, I messed up a little bit, but it doesn't matter. I went through it doesn't matter. So this is one concept. I'm going to call this one. This is another concept. I'm not even going to go crazy on this. I'm just going to draw a box. This is 2. And this is 3. This is 3. Now, I'm done. I'm good enough. I'm good with this drawing. And you know, I can enhance the resolution on this thing, by the way. The reason why I don't have it in super high res is because I'm just worried about lag. Oh man, did I screw up? Maybe I did. All right, 1 second, guys. I'm stop sharing because if I do these adjustments on my camera, I gotta restart the software. I'll restart it. So, how is everyone? Is everyone good?
Yeah, we're doing good. I'm still drawing in my little notebook right now.
Yeah, we're good.
I bet a lot of you are sleeping. I can't even see anyone's face. I only see one person's face. Well, I can see Jade. Jade, she's always so friendly. All right. Well, anyway, how much time do we have?
I'm laying down with my dog.
Wait,
Like
my monitor went off for some reason.
I think it's 45 minutes left. It's like 10:30 right now.
So I know we've still got what, another 45 minutes, but how is this for you guys so far?
It's pretty dope. I like your artwork.
Here's some voices. Everyone's drawing. Maybe everyone's on mute. Just having a little pause here, a little minute. Hey, I'm gonna turn off my video for a sec. I'm gonna just grab a cup of coffee, and you guys, when I come back in just a sec, tell me, give me some input. I need some input about like if this is cool for you. Am I going too fast? Be right back there. Let me just grab coffee.
I'm gonna get some coffee too.
Okay, I'm back. And I'll turn on my camera in just a sec, but I mean my laptop camera, webcam, but I'm going to just get my other thing going first. 1 sec. But while I'm setting this up, so can you guys give me some feedback? This is our first like class together in the sense of I'm actually teaching sketching. Am I jumping too fast and too fast forward, or is this cool with you guys?
No, I think it's a nice pace. Like you doing like because we like some of us had the perspective class,
Yep.
and because as you know, like some of us came from illustration, so like we had that, but like your line work is just like amazing. And as far as like composing it with like the like correct perspective and stuff like that, like it makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like how you you add the heavier line weight to it to give it a more dynamic like pop feel
Yes.
to it. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah. It like I know like I showed my artwork to Aki and he always tell me that like my paintings and stuff like were amazing. But why don't I put it into my my like thumbnails and stuff like you do? And it's just like I don't know, it could never really make sense until like I just saw you do it, to be honest. Like it's just now I'm gonna like because these are the ones I was doing like or you yeah, chit chat, yeah, or doing yours, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I'm coming up with different ones and stuff, and after seeing yours now, I need to step my game up. So I'm probably gonna because this is what I got like so far with these. Like, I mean, it look cool and all, but it's just like after seeing yours now, I just need to. I'm gonna have to do some work. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to upgrade myself, you know, and then so I'm gonna have to. I might add like backgrounds and stuff like that. Like that was a good tip to like add a background so you can see through the item and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah. These
And
are
yeah,
all
I'm digging the work. Yeah, it's dope. I like it.
awesome, Greg. No, I appreciate it. I'm just turning on my camera now. Hold on. I'll share screen. Well, does anyone else have any feedback?
I have, I guess, 2 comments I want to make.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had you before, so I know how your classes go, and I was wondering, especially because it's, I guess, in Zoom, would it be all right if I guess you encourage us to participate more? Like, I don't know how that would work, but like, I mean, I like watching you sketch, and I'm sketching along with you, but I think it'd be really fun or interesting, like, for you to like comment on our sketches while you're sketching. We're like, oh, hey guys, like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
So it feels more interactive.
Absolutely.
So I think that's because, especially with the webcam, like it kind of just feels like I'm watching a video of you. And then also I feel like for homework, are we going to critique it like on Zoom, or you're just going to look at it?
Jade, I definitely appreciate what you said there. And sometimes I get into the zone and I just kind of, you know, you know how it is when you get into
Yeah, I know how you are. I had class with you. I just think too, it's like, since it's on Zoom, it's like you get in the zone and I'm like, oh, it's like, it feels like I'm watching a YouTube video.
Well, don't kill the
Right.
dude.
Actually, absolutely. And you know what? I maybe some people had some questions. You know, I had my volume turned down because I had music playing, and then so just by default I use the Mac. Use the Mac to turn down I turned down my whole damn Mac. I just didn't turn down iTunes. I turned down my whole Mac. So therefore, you guys might have been asking questions, but I didn't hear it. And I was asking. I was like, oh, how's it going? Is everything cool? And I didn't hear anything. I was like, all right, well, no feedback, so I'll just keep on going. But that's because I had my Mac turned down all the way, so I couldn't hear anything. So
yeah. The thing is,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. The thing is too, it's like sometimes like I'm watching you and like I just don't even know what to say because I'm like, yeah, I got this. I'm like sketching along with you, but I just don't know the questions to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like I don't know, especially because we're in Zoom. I think it'd be cool if you're like, okay, guys, like let's look at sketches real quick, and you just give us like quick feedback on how to make our sketches better from the tips you're giving us now. And then also you're doing like, isn't it this like thumbnails? So it's not even that like serious.
Yeah, no, no. Well, there's an issue with this online stuff.
Yeah.
When you show me a sketch, so this is what I see when I'm showing you. When you're showing me a sketch, this is what I see.
Yeah.
It's not that clear, you know, when you do it through the camera.
Of course.
And so I can look at your stuff. I'm looking like really in there, and I can't really see, but I can get an overview. And so yeah, as a quick showing, you can do that. But another thing is, it's a little labor intensive. But okay, this is labor intensive. But a theory is, you could take a camera and just take a quick photo shot. You know, maybe I'm in the middle of a sketching thing, and you know, take a photo of your thing so I can get a good clear look at it, and then, you know, upload it onto your computer through Bluetooth, and you know, and then you can share it really clearly with me, or just show it through the camera. But that's one of the problems with the Zoom meeting. I can't go behind you and look at your drawing next to you, and you know, so. But yeah, Jade, throw your sketches up there, you know, just on the screen here, or take a photo and share it that way. But I'm totally here to listen to you and give you feedback as we go through. I want to talk to you as we go through. Here's an advantage. If you were to take a photograph of a sketch and you upload it onto your computer, and you can share that screen, you can share your screen with me, because down there it says share screen. And I just set it up so you can share your screen, and I can put it on my thing, and then I can draw on top of it with my Cintiq.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, sorry. I just think like you're right. It is very labor intensive, but I think also like I realize this class is like me, because I haven't been in classes in a long time, but it's like 3 hours. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
For me, it goes by real quick.
Like, you get in the zone. Yeah, you're like, I mean, I love your vibe, Brooke. I do. But sometimes I'm like, I need a break from sketching. And like, I sometimes want like a commentary. I'm like, oh, am I doing this right? So.
Yeah, no. And I appreciate that, Jade. And thank you for reminding me. And I'll try to be more conscious of that.
Can we?
Honestly, if I could say something,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I kind of like you getting in the zone like that, and it's kind of I don't know about you guys, but like I like watching long form YouTube videos. Like it's like kind of watching a YouTube tutorial, so it's like kind of comprehensive in that way for me. So I feel like it'd be easier, even like watching it back, like when you upload it on YouTube.
Yep.
Like it'll be like watching like a tutorial, and it'll be more comprehensive, at least for me personally. So I do appreciate, I guess, your format in that aspect.
And to your point, that's well also combined with what Jade was saying is hey, it's not just a YouTube video. You're not watching it. You can shout out, hey, Brooke, stop. How did you do that? And why did you do that? You know, so it's an interactive YouTube video, basically.
Maybe you can have like a designated sketch time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody throwing in music type thing, and
Yeah.
because I know in like illustration classes we got so used to just throwing our music, and like the model would be there or whatever, and we just be painting or drawing or whatever, and that like we completely get where you're coming from with the flow, because we all got it. We get into the zone, and I think that setting that time aside just for that would be a way of like respecting the flow type thing.
Awesome. That's a great feedback, Greg.
Yeah, then after we can critique that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just a way for us to interact with each other.
Okay, then how about this? So it's a 3-hour class. How about I demonstrate for first hour, the middle hour we kind of zone in. We each zone in, and I will still continue sketching. You can watch, but you guys sketch for that middle hour, and the final hour we chit chat and review work and talk about stuff. Basically, just a rough break it into 3 sections.
I think that's really good.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Sounds good.
Hey, so now who was it? Okay, now I apologize, Pixel 4, because I forgot your name because we're new. You guys are new for me. Pixel 4, what is your name so I can talk to you?
It's okay. It's Monica Ring, like a ring on your finger.
Monica. Cool. All right, Monica. So, hey, Monica, I think you can change your name instead of Pixel 4. Do you have a phone call?
I don't think I'm actually signed in. I think I deleted the app and like re-downloaded it and didn't sign in under my, because I do have a Zoom account under my name. So next time I'll actually sign in and so you can see my name.
So do you have a Pixel 4 phone?
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
That's why. Who makes it? Is that Nokia? No, who makes that?
Google.
Oh, Google.
Yeah, it's a Google.
Google.
Supposed to have a really good camera in it, I think, isn't it?
That's why I bought it.
Right.
And I like Androids.
All right. So does anyone have any questions or anything? I'm just gonna, does anyone have any questions or comments? Anyone else? Okay.
I was wondering if the entire class was going to be online, or are we going to meet in the studio at all at one point?
Yeah, well, theoretically it's all online, but I can arrange to come in because I'm not far away from the school. I'm in Detroit. So, I can say, all right, maybe spontaneous. Let's say, okay, we can say next week. All right, guys, next week on Thursday, I'm going to come in. You guys can come in if you want. So, I can do that. No problem. It gets me out of the house and out of the studio and stuff. So yeah, we can combine it, but technically it is actually online.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what I'm a little bit worried about coming into school. So there I'll come into school and I don't know how the new structure is working. apparently they have cameras coming off the kazoo. They have a camera for the drawing. They have a camera for like an overall class view. And so I don't know how all this works. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be a little bit like, oh, how does all this work and things. But maybe I have to go in early or something. I don't know. But I
Yeah,
think,
because in my other classes, what they're trying to do is everyone bring their laptops and have a Zoom meeting in class. So like, let's say you're doing demonstrations, we could do exactly what we're doing right now. But then like, if you want to look at our like drawings more specifically, I guess you could come over and see our drawings in person. I don't know, because that was something what my other teachers were suggesting, where we do like lecture, like if we are in class at any time, we could do like the lecture part on our computer, like social distancing. And then like, let's say we have our own sketching time and you want to look through our work, you can do that in person too. So I don't know, that can work out if we're ever in the studio.
yeah, no, I'd like to do that. You know, I'd like to meet you face to face, you all face to face, and I think it'd be nice if you can meet me face to face. And so I'm with you. I'm with you. So I'll try to arrange something like that a little bit later. But in the meantime, let's just stick with this a little bit for now. And
Yeah, I mean, I think it works out great. As people said, it does look like I'm like following through a tutorial. So, and I like that you're in the zone because it's sort of how I work. Yeah,
Right.
so it's great.
Well, you know what? As I'm in the zone, just call my name out. Next time I'll try to remember to turn up my Macintosh so I can hear you guys, and just call it, hey, Brooke, can you show us how to la 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 la, whatever. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm not gonna really get in the zone. I just want to show you the differences between the Sharpie and the. Okay, so I've got desktop. Let's just blow this thing up. All right, so this is why I love ballpoint pen, because it's so accurate. And then this little warm-up sketch, which is the Sharpie sketch, it's just quite brutal, but you can be very expressive with the Sharpie as well. So, and then the pencil, the mechanical pencil. Now, the reason why I don't like this thing as much as the markers and stuff is because pencil's messy. It gets, so as you're drawing and, you know, you're drawing and stuff, and, you know, let's pretend all of this is lead pencil. Then as you're sketching, it muddies up all of this stuff and makes your drawing look really crappy. And you get, you know, underneath your hand here, you get this black stuff from the pencil, and it just messes it up. That's why I'm really into ink. That's why I'm really into the ink. So if you want some pencil stuff, you know, shout out. I mean, are any of you people into pencils, or what is your favorite drawing medium? And somebody said charcoal.
I like pencil.
Yeah, I really like pencil sketches a lot. But I do get your point with the smudging.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Monica, what kind of pencil do you use? A mechanical or a Prisma or a lead?
I like using different, like, it depends, I guess. I use different versions of mechanical pencils. I really like the ones they used to sell at the school store before they gutted it. The I think they're the red ones that have like, it's like point, it's really, really small lead, like 0.3. It's like super, super tiny.
Right.
Oh, I love those because I'm really detail oriented. So I like those a lot. But I guess I like the idea of using pen more. I'm really scared away from pen, but I think it'll teach me more, like, to make confident lines and like not be so afraid to, you know, strike a line and leave it, because I'm very anal about like perfection. So I will often go back to erase and stuff. So I guess striking lines will be a lot of like easier, I suppose.
Well, I'll tell you something about that, Monica. People, bosses, they like to see your mistakes, and with pen you cannot erase your mistake, and because they want to see how you're thinking, and mistakes actually can look cool as long as you're really light. As long as you're really light with that ballpoint pen specifically, and you saw me like making mistakes, and those were happy mistakes, and so I didn't erase it, and you see that I had to increase the height of this bag because of, for some reason I don't remember, and you know, those, yeah, so those happy mistakes come about when you're doing the pen, and and even if you make a wrong proportion and you change it, it looks good to see that, you know. But as long as you're going really light,
Mhm.
if you go heavy, then it's going to really look kind of crappy. But and so, are you guys kind of following how I think and sketch at the same time? Because it's kind of like when you're sketching, it's like your thoughts are going on paper, real time, mistakes and all, and how I figure stuff out. Like, so we were talking about, I was talking about this type of base down here, and then I was like, well, if in just with this sketch, you know, the boss or my client, they're like, what is that? I mean, how does that work? Is that made out of wood, or is that made out of rubber or leather, layers of leather? And then so I think about it, and then I think they're never going to understand what the heck that is. So there I draw this extruded type of plastic. So that's an example of the thinking while drawing.
Yeah, I
And
like the way you do that. It's like the way you explain things. It's like a stream of consciousness thought, and
yeah,
it's really helpful actually.
great, cool. So how the class is structured, because I don't think you were here on Tuesday. And so how it works is every Tuesday homework is due. And for this coming Tuesday, it's only 5 sheets of letter size paper of sketches, and formatted in landscape. It needs to be landscape so it fits on my screen, and just so it becomes a habit to landscape your drawings. And then so on Tuesdays, everyone sends in their homework and drops it into the Google Drive. Hey, do you have a Google Drive folder? Are you new to the class, Monica?
I do have a Google Drive folder. I think I needed to request access to it, the shared one, and I did yesterday. So
Did I give you access?
I have not checked.
Okay. Well, anyway, I shared a Google Drive folder, and it has every one of your names in it, unless I missed somebody. If I missed any of you, please tell me, because maybe you're new to the class and just signed on for whatever reason. If I missed you, let me know. So in that folder is where you drop your homework and anything you want to share with me. By the way, it's totally open. Anyone can open your folder and look at your stuff in terms of the class. So,
Brooke, I have a question.
uh-huh.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. When it comes to the homework, what kind of quality are you looking for? Are you looking for like something like this that you're showing us today, or are you looking for more refined kind of sketches?
So do you remember I was telling you about the philosophy? So 50% of your grade is going to be all of your homework averaged. We have 15 weeks, so you're going to have 15 homework assignments, and each homework is normally seven drawings. That's 50% of your grade. The other 50% is to see how you progress. So we're going to see, and as you upload your homework as a PDF file, you do 7 pages for homework. Well, it's going to be only 5 for this Tuesday to make it easy for you, but load them all into one PDF and title that PDF September 3rd or September 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, whenever Tuesday is, September, say 5th or 6th, whenever, I don't know, 09, 07, homework, you know, something like that. So each time you drop in homework, it's always going to be dated and it's going to be in chronological order. And so the other 50% of your grade is to see how you progress. And so you're going to compile at the end of the semester, you're going to compile all of these homeworks into one big ass PDF of at least 70 pages, 70, 80, 90, 105 pages. At least it's going to have 105 pages if you give in 7 pages per week. 105 pages, one big ass PDF, and we're going to see from day one your sketch, and then we're going to be able to go through page by page, see how you've progressed, and by the end of by week 15, we should see an absolute progression. If you don't progress from week 1 to week 15, I'm going to give you a low grade. But if you progress really progress, and we see that progression, obviously, you're going to get a good grade, because that's the whole point of this class, is to improve. And so, Jade, you can blow your whole thing. You know, you can just start off with your best stuff. This is what's going to be best for you. If you really want to push yourself, give me your best for Tuesday, and then we're going to see how you progress from being your best. But if you're smart, but it's kind of stupid on the other hand too, you can deliberately give me a real piece of crap.
Yeah.
You know you're better than that.
Yeah.
But you know, you can
And then,
really like say, all right, and just to do baby drawings for Tuesday, and then we will see an obvious progression 15 weeks later because you've thought about it and how you're going to do that.
Yeah.
But it just only hurts yourself.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
that's true.
So I don't really mind what you give. I mean, maybe you should start off with thumbnails, 7 pages of thumbnails. If you want to take one of your thumbnails, develop it. No, I don't mind. It's open. It's just open. It's really open how you guys want to do it.
And it could be shoes or bags, or it has to be specific.
It could be shoes. Well, we were doing bags today, so maybe we stick with bags.
Okay, bags.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, bags.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And what else? So everyone's clear about like how the homework works and how the grading works with the 50% of your whole sketchbook and then also 50% of all of your homework.
Yeah, I think someone else had a question too, but I don't know who it was.
Who was that?
It was probably me, but
Oh,
she asked it.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Oh, go ahead.
Go for it.
I don't know if this sounds stupid. So, do you want it just in like black and white, or like pencil or pen, or can we add color if we want?
No, don't add color. Let's just stick with line drawings. Let's just
Right.
nail down the line drawings, just pure line drawings. Don't put marker or
Okay.
stuff like that. And use any medium that you're comfortable with. Maybe even you try ballpoint. Maybe you try Sharpie. Maybe you try charcoal or whatever things you like.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, what time is it? Okay, well, we only have, I'm correct in thinking this class finishes at 11. Is that what you guys think also? It's 3 hours?
It finishes at 11:15 technically.
Oh, 11:15. Ah, so should our class start at 8:45 or are we 3¼ hours?
Wait, give me a second.
Well,
I could be
the
lying.
class starts at 8:30 and then ends at 11:15, so it's like right under.
Okay.
I think it's 2.5 actually.
Okay,
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's 2.5.
I think I'm right, but I have doubts now.
Yeah, me too. Because I don't know. Actually, I really honestly don't know if this should be 3 hours, 2.5, or what. And so anyway, they told me they
It's
said
2 hours and 45 minutes.
All right then.
Okay.
Okay then. So
Times.
5. Okay, class length. All right, I'll change the syllabus so it says. I don't think it matters. I don't think it. But okay, we have another like 15, 20 minutes left. So I'm going to then just run through how to present this. Monica, since maybe you missed the first class, I'm going to show you. I mean, this is 101, and I know this is super basic, but what I'm going to do is, if you're just limited to the phone, if you've got a scanner, bonus. But I just want everyone to be on the same page because what I really dislike is when you send me a portrait. So you do a page of thumbnails and you give it to me like that, and portrait. I'm like, oh damn it! Now I have to rotate it on my computer and all this. I just would rather just open up your homework, just click through the pages, and
No, yeah, I have access to a good scanner and computer, so.
Great. So I had 2 pages, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you how I go through the whole process. I'm sure you guys know this. It's pretty basic, but just in case you don't. Okay, there's got my one page. Make it nice and square. Get good lighting. Don't be in a dark space because you want your photograph to be as good as possible. I'm going to send these over to my computer. This is going. Okay. Give me a couple of seconds while it uploads. Hey, but I love doing this. I mean, I'm just drawing showing you guys how I do this stuff. I just love sharing this stuff, giving you all my secrets. Some people are weird and they don't like to share stuff. They don't like to share their work. Oh, I don't want people to rip me off. That's my idea. And or I've got this really great technique about how to do something, but I don't want to share it because I don't know. I don't have that attitude at all. All right. Should be uploaded. There, that. And I'm grabbing my 2 sketches. I also have more, as you know, but I'm not going to upload them. So take your photos of your sketches or scan them. Take them in a Photoshop. Okay, there they are. Let's just get rid of this bag. Okay, so image rotation, counterclockwise, and I'll crop it a little bit. I don't need to show you all of the little ugliness around there. So, but to prove that it is a sketchbook, I'm going to keep my spiral in there, just to add character. And then the second one here. Once again, image rotate counterclockwise. Crop this thing out. Show a little bit of that. I don't want to hide that stuff and there, and show a little bit of spiral.
Would you prefer it if we kept it neat like that too? Like in a similar way?
I don't, neat, sorry, I don't know exactly what you mean neat.
Well, I mean, like keeping the spiral in and everything like that.
You know, you as an artist, you show your work how you would like to show your work. If you want to be super neat and straighten it all up and all of that stuff, you know, that's your style. Or if you want to keep it all raw, I mean, even if you wanted to show like the coffee cup or whatever, or your whole work environment, you got pens on this side and this, you as an artist, it's up to you how you want to present it. You know, be creative.
All right, dope.
This is just how I do it. Okay, so I've got my 2 drawings, and so I'm just going to simply save these, and I'll put them into a PDF. I'll show you a nice little tip, actually. This is going to be a good tip. Actually, you know what? Here, let me show you a quick Photoshop tip. Let's say you got a stack of pages, right? So you got a stack of pages, and this is a really cool tip on Photoshop. You go to, okay, window. We have to open up a thing called Actions, right here, Actions. So you open up Actions. So here's the Actions thing, and then you go plus, which is a new action. Just yes, whatever. You don't need to do anything. Press record. So what happens now is it records everything you do now. So I have this. I have my thing. I don't need to do anything to it. I'm going to go to File, Save As. Find my folder, CCS, summer classes, fall, fashion accessories, images, sketches. So there, shoes and bags. So I'm just going to save this, save it as a JPEG. Usual process, and then I'm going to close it. Okay, it's closed. Now, I'm going to stop the recording because it recorded all those steps. So I stop it, and I'm going to press play, and that's going to do exactly what I did to that last sketch to this sketch. So I press play, save changes. It asks you to do this, but say don't save. It'll do. So what it did, really quick, you couldn't see it, but saved it as JPEG, put it into my folder. So if you have a big stack of sketches, like 7 or 10, it automatically saves them all in the same location. So let's go to the my work. Let's go to that folder. And theoretically, they should both be in there. Summer, fall, fashion, images, sketches. Oh, it's typical. Of course, it didn't save the second one. Well, anyway. Okay, so my idea screwed up. Ugh, I hate it when. But normally you can do that actions thing, and it will. Okay. Well, anyway, my demonstration completely screwed up on me. Let's go to downloads. Let's just do this again. Downloads. Where the hell is it? Downloads, date modified. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay, well, okay, my bad. When I get more sketches, I'm going to demonstrate that to you again. But it didn't save, so that's just typical, isn't it? Why does you want to show something? Crop this guy. So what I like to do sometimes, and this is a trend you see on Instagram, if you follow people who sketch on Instagram, sometimes they put their ballpoint pen, and I'll show you. So, all right, there's my sketch. They put the utensil that they use onto it somewhere, maybe here, and then they photograph it. They photograph it, you know, with the thing, or you know, in this case, there, and then put a Sharpie here. If I used a bunch of markers, you know, I used a ballpoint pen and I used a pencil, I might put all my materials over there, you know. So, you know, there's artistic ways. If you're inspired by it, like, I don't know, a little flower, maybe you put it, I don't know, you can just be creative. But anyway, let me get back to my Photoshop. Oh, I guess I'll hit enter. Image, rotate canvas, counterclockwise, save as. Downloads, work, this. Okay, save. Okay, and then so I'm going to go to my lovely bridge. I can do it on the Finder as well if you need, but center classes fall. I'll just sketches. Grab my two sketches and throw them into, where is it? Oh, after that. Oh, did it work in Acrobat? Is Acrobat turned on? Okay, let's drag them into Acrobat. And create a single document from all the image files you opened. Yes. Okay, I hope this is in the. Thank you, Jade, for telling me about that. Okay, there's my PDF file. There's the ballpoint pen, and there's my other one. Save as file. Save as something like this. Desktop. I'm gonna save it to. I'll choose a different folder. Okay, so I'm going to title this, today is 0903, 09.03, and I'm going to title it demonstration. Demonstration, save, and then drop that into your folder. So let's go to my Gmail stuff. And the drive. Shared drives. Where are we? Oh, wait a second. Oh, fall 20 products to live by. No, it's not that. Hold on, wait a second. Where the hell is shared drive, CCS, final presentation, whatever that is. Just come 3. Didn't I make a folder for you guys? Did I make a folder for you guys? Google Drive?
Yeah. But you made individual folders.
Yeah, I made you each individual folders.
Yeah.
This company product, I don't know what that is, and I don't know what that is. Find presentation files. Okay, well, let's just go to my drive. Maybe it's in here. Shared with me. Let's just see if it's shared with me. You know, I can't even find my okay, well, my drive. Fashion accessories illustration, there it is. Okay, there it is. Me, instructor. So what I will do every week is I'm gonna drop these files in to, here's my PDF presentation, and I'll drop it into my file, and you guys do the same thing there. So you can always access my folder. It's uploading. It'll take a minute to upload, but you guys can always access my files, so you can go back to it, and also all of you guys can see each other's sketches, because I didn't want it on privacy, because I thought everyone can learn from everyone else. You know, you're really into Greg's drawings or Steven's or Lauren's drawings, and you know, you can go back and check her stuff out and be inspired, you know. So it's just a big sharing thing. There's no secrets with us. So hey, so Monica, are you do you understand what I'm talking about as far as putting in the homework in the folders, saving it as a landscape, and saving it as a PDF with a nice clear date on it?
Yes.
Good. Okay, cool. And you know, you can use a phone or you can scan. I prefer to scan, but I was really going, in case you don't have a scanner, I was just doing the photographing technique. So I'll upload all of this stuff, and we'll be good. I uploaded that, but I'm gonna upload the video later on tonight, and hopefully you'll have it tomorrow. Homework is due on Tuesday. Only 5 pages, because I wanted to start you off easy, but all from that point on, it's always 7 pages. And I felt like 7 pages is like 1 page per day. If you give me more than 7 pages, then that's bonus. And you know, I can increase your grade, because it looks like you're doing more work, but I can see if you're doing, you know, I discussed this last week on Tuesday. If you do a page of thumbnails, like something like this, oh, here, I'll stop my screen share. So, you know, if you give me a page of, let's say these are a bunch of thumbnails, which I guess technically they are. And so you take this one and you crop it and you put it, and you take that one thumbnail and you fill up a whole page. So you take it, copy and paste it onto a new letter size page, and you just leave that as is without doctoring it at all. I know that you didn't do much work. It was a simple cut and paste. So I'm not going to give you much bonus for that. But what the point is using the computer, and we discussed this on Tuesday, but Monica and whoever else missed the class, I think half of you weren't here on Tuesday. By the way, I gave you all excused absences. So the point, the thing is about this thumbnail, take your favorite thumbnail, right? Maybe it's this one. Take it, copy it, paste it into a letter size document on Photoshop, reduce the opacity on layers, reduce it to about 5–10%. So it prints out real light, and then use that actual physical printout and draw on that physical printout, and just either fix it or make it more, get into the details. You know, you can't get into details with the thumbnail, but get in there, put in logos, some nice little X stitching or whatever you want to do, and get in there and develop that little thumbnail directly on the printout. And that counts as a legit page. In fact, I'm like, absolutely great. You're really taking that thumbnail concept, you're being quick, you're scanning it, you're printing it, you're sketching on top. And I'm like, I appreciate you not working harder, but working smarter. So, you know, that counts totally if you do that. I'll see the thumbnail page, and then I'll see that you took it and blew it up. I'm like, yes, you're being professional, because nobody wants to waste time. You want to do things as quick as possible. Your boss doesn't want to pay you $100 an hour for you just messing around and doing, you know, just wasting time. So does anyone have any questions with how to present their work? especially anyone who missed on Tuesday? All right, then. If you guys are good, I'm good too. Shall we call it a day?
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right, then. Okay. Love you and leave you. See you on Tuesday.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Brooke, one thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not on that list for the homework drop folders.
Anthony. Okay. Let me just,
Yeah, I just got put into the class like a couple hours after.
Sure, Anthony, no problem. I'm going to put you in there right now.
All right.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it right now, and I will see you on Tuesday.
Perfect. See you then.
See you later, Anthony. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Anthony.